Each thread is made up of 6 strands. Divide the strands up. You only need 2. Use 2 at a time. So you can either pull one out at a time, which is easier. The second one, put the 2 together and thread your needle. If you like, you can put a knot at the end of the threads, but the proper way to do it is to start on the front of your piece and just do a couple of little running stitches like that and leave a little tail, and that will be incorporated into the sewing, so don't worry about it. You're going to do long and short stitches. So the first stitch I'm going to do is a long one, and I'll bring it up to the edge here, and then I'll do a shorter stitch and I'll bring it up to the edge here. Then a longer stitch, and then a shorter stitch. And just fill in the piece using long and short stitches like that. I will bring that one into there. Your thread gets to about that length. You don't want it too short because you want to be able to finish it off neatly. Bring it to the back. Your back should be nice and neat. And just thread it through the back of the stitches that you've done. And then trim it. Like that. Then start again. You see how the thread I started with is covered up by the stitches? So just bring it through like that. And then continue with your long and short until your space here with the grey is completely covered. And start in the orange, start it off like you did the grey, but bring it up just beside the beak. Now, you always go in the direction of the feathers, so we did these facing down. The little head will just go sideways and then turn the stitches down. So we'll just do small little long and short stitches to the head. Too much about the eye because we'll be doing that in black. Maybe just go around it like that and leave a little tiny space for it. I'm just going to bring this over here, and then we can start going down. When you come to the grey, you can just go in a little bit on those stitches and it'll just blend like that. And now we have the head and the back and the little tail to do. So I would start at this little corner here and work away around. See the way these little stitches came from the beak and came around, and then twist it down this way, going in the direction that the feathers are in. So I'm just going to start it off here. And start here. A long and a short one. They can be smaller around the head where you're going into a tight space. And then a little one here. And then you can twist them around to go round the head. Smaller stitches help you to shape better. You still have brown, or you're on the brown. When you finish the head and the back, do the little tail. Don't forget the branch comes in front of it for the little robin to perch on. So I'm just going to do this now. We'll now start on the branch. So I'm just going to put a few little stitches here to start it off. If you find that the ring is quite awkward to use, you can take it out of the ring. Maybe doing the robin because he's in the center is easier, but when you come to the edges it's probably easier. I'm going to do the pine needles out of the ring to show you, but I'll do the branch still using the ring. To do the pine needles I'm going to take it out of the ring, so just untwist it like that. It'll just pop out. Now for this I'm going to put a knot in it. I'm going to start at the tip of this needle. I'm going to bring it down and then up to the left hand side to the top of that needle on the left. I'm going to bring the needle in to the opposite side and back down to B. On your instructions, it'll be A, B, C, D. And then I'm going to catch the thread in a V. Bring it down the stem and up to the needle, top of the needle on the left, over to the right hand side and back down to the center stem. And again, catch the thread in a V and continue on down the stem. I'm holding the material with these fingers to keep it taut. When you had the ring kept it tight. When you're doing it like this, you need to keep some sort of tension on the material. You might find it easier to put it back in the ring and do it. I'm just showing you it this way because some people find this easier. The berries are next. Just little tiny stitches, satin stitches, which means that they go side by side in the same direction. So I'll start off with a smaller one, then one a little slightly bit bigger, and then one a little bit bigger for the center, and then getting smaller again on the far side. Now, if you really want them to stand out, you can do the same thing again, but going in the opposite direction. Smaller at the outside, a little bit bigger, and then smaller on the far side. Bring it through to the back. That's one little berry. And do the same with the other. I'm going to put the robin back into the ring. Put it tight to do the eye, the beak and the feet. And tighten it up. We're going to use one thread, just one thread of black. And to start off, I'm going to just run it through the back of the threads that were already sewn. And come out at the head side of the beak. And to the tip of the beak, back to the center of the beak, to the point again, one more at the lower beak. They have a very tiny beak, it's more like a little point. And then we're going to come in where the eye is. Now we're going to do a few little satin stitches like we did for the berries, but on a smaller scale, a couple of tiny ones. So I'm going to go through the back up, do about 3 of these till you feel that he has a nice little eye. Like that. And then you can run your back should be nice and neat, and you can run the thread back through some of those stitches in the brown thread to finish off and trim it off. Now we're going to do the little feet. You might have covered up the feet, but if you look at the diagram, you'll see where they are. There's 3 little toes on this side and 3 little toes on that side. They actually have 4, but the back one is in behind and we won't be sewing that. So I'm going to start off with the thread running through the back stitches, like that. It's a little bit awkward with the ring, but we'll get And we're just going to do a couple of little, you can leave that and trim it off later. This is where one of them will be. We're just going to do a couple of little satin stitches for each toe. We'll do 2 for each toe. Now his little toes are on, perched on the branch. Now to finish off, you have a little bit of ribbon you can attach to the top, but before you do, if you like, you can trim off this piece of material. And if your sewing is not quite up to scratch, or you might have a few little odd threads going around the back, you could cut out a little bit of cardboard and place it in the back. And date it, because it'll be, it's always nice to date your work. So you can put the year and the date, and or you could dedicate it to somebody if you're going to give it as a present, and then place your little ribbon on top, ready to hang on your Christmas tree. Well, I hope you enjoy making it, and happy Christmas.